Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Clearwater Toyota, and guess what? I have that one Western luxury style Tundra that continues on in their lineup. It's this truck right here. This is it. This is a 2025 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition with the TRD off-road package. But before we get into this rootin' tootin' boot scootin' Tundra, let's talk about what's going on here. So 1794, what does that year mean? A lot of people thought that was like Akio Toyota's grandparents' birthday or something like that. No, 1794 is the year that the ranch where the Tundras are made. There used to be a big, huge ranch there where the factory building sits today. That was when the ranch first opened up. And to pay homage to that Western style civilization setup, they decided to call this the 1794 edition. What's fascinating is that they're not the only one that has a luxury Western style themed truck. If you look at the King Ranch trim of the mighty Ford F-150, those two would align perfect, arch rivals of one another. But what I want to find out is, if you're going full-size truck, is the 1794 edition the must-own? Well, why don't we go ahead, get your little doggies, get on your horse, and let's gallop towards this Tundra and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, great color. It's called Wind Chill Pearl. And it's not just a regular white. If you notice, the way that the Florida sun is baking and hitting this portion, this corner of the hood, it's got a nice pearlescent metal flake and really kind of changes how much shine it has depending on what angle you look at it. Very nice, interesting paint color. Now, of course, you're going to get full LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and your turn signals. We have functional, not fake, functional air curtains. And then on the 1794 edition, you actually get this smoky metallic gray finish around the fender openings. Now, as we come across that Texas style belt buckle of a Toyota badge, I mean, think of that. I could pop this off and use it as a belt buckle. You have the Toyota badge. This grille is unique to this truck because it does have the TRD off-road package. It costs about 21 bones, actually 2,100 bones if you're counting your bones. That's 2,100 bucks. But I think you might be surprised with how much you get for that option to get the TRD off-road package. Now, forward-facing camera, I love the metallic gray finish of the grille. Much better than just shiny chrome. And if you want some chrome, you got some bling blinging, just like on your Spurs. Tundra badge embossed. You do have LED fog lamps down below. And then as we continue to drop down, I love the metallic gray finish on the lower bumper. Now, because we do have the TRD off-road package, it's not just about the grille. It's not just about the forward-facing camera. There are skid plates underneath this truck to protect the belly of this Western beast. But let me know what you think about the face of this Tundra 1794 edition, especially with it having the TRD off-road package. Now, as we rise up, you have that chrome that goes around the whole perimeter of the front of the trunk, and then you have those V-shaped indentations in the hood. Much better than just straight head-on. And then, of course, like I said, the LED lighting for your daytime running lamp and everything really looks fantastic. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So for your 2,100 bones, you do get these TRD off-road specific wheels, Toyota Racing Development, 20-inch wheel with some Wild Peak off-road spec tires. Love the way we have that smoky gray finish around the fender openings. And then Lori's gonna zoom in to show the steel box frame, all the suspension bits. We do have Bilstein shock absorbers on this truck because of the TRD off-road package. So like I said, for a package, it's not just badges and a fancy grille. You are getting some really good nitty-gritty off-road equipment. Continuing down the side, big old chrome on the mirror caps. That's that off-road theme that well, I should say Western off-road style theme. 360-degree cameras. These are power folding mirrors. I like the way they do the flat black on the A-pillar. There's just something about it that doesn't make it look so heavy from the side. Crew cab setup with the shiny bright metalwork, that hockey stick style design. You do get chrome on the door handles, and then of course you got to have the badge, right? 1794 edition, like I said, going back to that Texas ranch with the chrome trim. And this one has these fixed running boards with frame slider protection. So nice to see that on this particular truck. Normally you would get electric dropping running boards, but those will take a beating when you're going to get all the cattle, to round up the cattle with your 1794 edition. Coming towards the rear of the truck, you got the composite bed. Laura's gonna show that bright blue. Whenever you see the bright blue on the shock absorber, that's part of the Bilstein color. It's blue and yellow. And then the steel box frame. Love out back, of course, you gotta have the TRD 4x4 off-road badging because of that package. And then when it comes to the tailgate area, you do get an electric drop-down side step. So if you have your boots all muddy and dirty, you can just step on that little tiny step to get into the bed. You also have this, watch this. Electric dropping rear tailgate. So if you're out lassoing one of your animals, hopefully you're not just doing it for fun, you could use your elbow and just tap that and make the tailgate come down. Really nice. You got the bed liner. It is that composite bed. You do get a home power source. And the best part is when it comes to the bed of this truck, what's nice, you just hit the button again, rises right up. When it comes to the tailgate, you do have your 4x4 badge, those vertical LED taillights, the chrome on the Toyota badge. And I like the way it doesn't say Tundra. It actually says just 1794. That's kind of cool. That makes it unique. And then working our way down the ground level, you have your full tow receiver hookup. And then to finish it off, you do have chrome accents on both sides with that electric dropping step, like I pointed out. And the exhaust. I do like the Toyota exhaust with that nice chrome finisher on it, right on the tip. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what kind of power this Tundra makes. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath that hood is a tasteful engine cover with the words twin turbo, because guess what? There's no more V8, you silly goosehead. We have a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. It's gonna pump out, you're gonna see 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. The truck does weigh 5,856 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat. Top speed is governed to 108 miles an hour. MPGs around 17 in the city, 22 on the highway. And the truck can tow easily right around 14,000 pounds with a payload capacity of 1,940 pounds. So it doesn't have the V8 anymore. I think a lot of people have gotten over that, but why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up, put our boots on, and giddy up and see this Tundra roll. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 1794 edition Tundra with the TRD off-road package. Now, I already let the cat out of the bag. 2,100 bones for the off-road package. Everything else, if you're liking this one and you want to live your Bonanza days and Gunsmoke days, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, use the interwebs. But if you have a 10-gallon cowboy hat, the MSRP for this one is right at $75,000. But let's see what you get when you go 1794 edition To the door panels. Love the two-tone material. That tan brownish trim with the white contrast stitching, the soft touch black with the white contrast stitching. You got a real open pore wood, no veneer finish on it. And then you could easily put, I would say, 4 rattlesnake Twinkies in there for your breakfast burritos. And I like the way, if you notice, the armrest is actually gray. It's not black and it's not the brown color, but it also does have white contrast stitching. Now, you could put 3 bottles of sarsaparilla in that door pocket down below. And then going from the door pocket to the dash, more of that wood finish. Look at that. They branded that 1794 edition right in there. Love the soft touch, the gray, the stitching. And then, of course, as you slide in, you have that 14-inch infotainment system. All of the goodies that you want, especially when it comes to things like your seat controls. We do have massage seats up front for both the driver and the passenger. Really nice when you're working that ranch all day. Nice to have your Tundra give you a little bit of a massage there. Now up top, you got a place to put a couple hot dogs, and then you got a 12-volt, easy access. Down below, you got your dual climate controls for your AC. Let me throw this into reverse, show up the cameras. Look how good the cameras are. Nice 360. You could really get a bird's eye view of not only your truck, but also of your ranch. And we even have the off-road cameras with your pitch and roll. Don't be a pitch. Just use the gauges, not a big deal. And then right back where we started. Heated seats, ventilated seats. You got your toggle switches to drop your rear tailgate, lock the rear diff, that 360 and sit and spin view. And then you even have your trailer set up here. Real easy to access those buttons. Nice wireless charging, plus a place for 2 Snickers, your TRD shifter for that 8-speed automatic, and then you have that real open pore wood, open the door, 2 cup holders. You have your drive modes, you got hill descent control, and you got your 4x4, and then more of that nice gray leather material. Open this up, this is where you can put some honey roasted peanuts. That is the favorite nut of Texas. And then you have your easy access. So if you want to get down to your rack of ribs that you have for lunch, that your little missy made you for lunch, you could get your whole rack of ribs in there. USB-A, USB-C, and you got your little coin holders where you could put your buffalo nickels. Nice. Seats, the leather, the perforations. Look at the way they did the design. Man, it feels like a saddle, like an old saddle. Full electric assist with the massage. And then, of course, we have this ginormous panoramic power shade for our power sunroof. And on top of that, you do have your digital rearview mirror. But why don't you go ahead, get your little doggy over here. I want to show you where the real cowboys sit in this Tundra. Yeah! Come on in. Business time. You do have 2 memory seat settings. And then you'll notice down below, we do have an aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. I just would like an aluminum dead pedal. I mean, come on. But you do have some of the fanciest floor mats in the whole automotive industry. Toyota Tundra badge with the 1794 edition. I like the way they do the carpet with the rivets, like a pair of jeans. I don't know if you're aware of this. Let me give you a little freaking history lesson. Jeans were not for rich people. You know how there's people who go buy jeans that are $800 a pair, $1,000 a pair. Originally, blue jeans were invented for the working class people. People that worked on farms, people that worked in coal mines. Man, how things have changed. And if you could go back in time and say, hey, there's some schmuck paying $1,200 for your jeans, they wouldn't even believe it. They really wouldn't. Down below, I can't believe all the nice, easy seat controls. Especially, you could bring out that lower hammy extension, all electric assist. The seats are so comfy. So much real estate, so much ranch space for your rear end. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room. Steering wheel, love the leather, the nice contrast stitching. It would have been nice to get a 1794 badge. So that's a zonk. But you do have flat black on the switchgear. It is a power tilting and telescoping wheel. And you do have a heated steering wheel as well, in case you were wondering. Then you have, at the end of the day, to finish it off, You have that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You could go into your different modes, sport, normal, and eco. Real easy to do, nice clear graphics, and then there's a cornucopia of information that you could scroll through, which is really nice, and a 10-inch head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see where your ranch hands will be sitting in your Tundra. All right, guys, back seat time, and I don't know about you, but there's a lot of room back here, more room than I had in my college dorm room, that's for sure. I'm 6 feet tall, not even close to the headliner. I love the backs of the seats, the leather, the different colors. Nice large pockets. You could put some churros back here, maybe some rattlesnake jerky, little jerky for the jerky. Slide on in, 2 cup holders. Look at this, you're gonna be pampered, like Pampered Chef. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, home power source, USB-C, USB-A, and you have AC vents, but I have to zonk the placement. Look at where they're blowing. Even if you tilt them all the way up, they're hitting my freaking nin and my knee and my shins. Your nin is the combination of your shin and your knee, if you were wondering. That's a medical term, nin. But you have your shins and your knees. Everybody's trying to just hold back the laughs right now. It would have been nice if they put them somewhere else, for God's sakes. I have large pockets. Of course, you have your first aid kit. What's kind of cute about this is that there's little Band-Aids with like little images of cattle and bulls and cowboys and all sorts of stuff in the little safety kit. And then sitting here, like I said, the leather's great. Pull that down, nice soft armrest, 2 cup holders. And then let's see if we could get this to rise on up, because look at what we could put under there. You could put some of your lassoing rope, maybe a pair of spare pair of boots, all sorts of things you could put back there. And you could have some nice towels to clean your nins. Don't forget, shin and your knee. Remember that next time you go to the doctor. But why don't we go ahead? We're not going to the doctor, we're going on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Yahoo! Let's go for a spin in this Tundra. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition with the TRD off-road package. And right away, the materials are really where it's at. I mean, you're getting leather all over the place. It's really soft, great stitching. And I know many people are still upset that the V8 is gone, but the twin-turbo V6 does have more horsepower and more torque and better fuel economy than the outgoing V8. But why don't we go on throttle? You ready? On throttle, here we go. So smooth shifts from that 10-speed automatic transmission. I do have it in sport mode. You have your different modes, which are nice. And really just a comfortable driving experience. There is some pumped in sound through the speaker system, but it does help it sound a little beefier engine-wise than it just being a V6 twin turbo, and it's nothing too obnoxious. They do a good job with it. Steering wheel leather feels great. The overall steering itself is very communicative. And you have all of the great off-road technology. Hill descent control, crawl control, locking rear diff, and all the cameras, which are fantastic. Even that large 10-inch head-up display is a nice addition as well. And then, of course, I can go into my cameras all by the press of a button. There we are. Easy to look around, go into that off-road camera setup. But the resolution is just so clear. Are you ready? We're gonna go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Chirping tire's a happy tire. Nice fast shifts from that 10-speed. Easy to get to the 14-inch infotainment system. You got the digital rear view mirror. And these seats are freaking wonderful. Heated, ventilated, and massage. You have all of the Toyota sensing technology. And even in a big truck, you'd be surprised, people still don't see you. But at least you see them because you're sitting nice and high up. And like I said, you have all of the safety features that you're accustomed to today. But just a nice environment to do the business and drive. Lots of storage space. I love the open pore wood finish. It's a very unique trim, and with the TRD off-road package, I think it actually looks better than without. But it's just very easy to drive, and I can appreciate that. The Bilstein suspension does a great job with the compression and rebound. It's not real bouncy, but it also provides a comfortable ride as well. And of course, all that towing capacity really makes it a big plus all around. But I'm hoping that you've enjoyed this 1794 edition with the TRD off-road package. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Toyota and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day here at Clearwater Toyota. Definitely got to thank Chris and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2025 1794 edition Tundra, but it has that TRD off-road package. Let me know what you think. Is this the must-own full-size truck, especially if you want that Western luxury theme? Let me know in the comment section, but if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give out to Latte Lori. She's fighting the sun, she's fighting the rain, the clouds, the wind, and she is winning because Lori is always winning. Latte Lori, damn it. So thank you, Lori, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.